Good morning, kids. Today we'll start a new chapter, chapter number 6. Why do we need rules? So here in page number 41, you can see Zayan and Harjeet returning home from school in a school bus. And you can see Harjeet standing in a moving bus, which is very dangerous. Zayan makes him understand that he might fall and injure himself if the brakes were applied. So, kids, when you travel in a school bus, there are certain rules which you have to follow. You should sit properly and hold the bus tightly. Now here, there is a thinking and reasoning question. The question is, what do you think will happen if everyone starts breaking the rules? Now you have to answer it in your notebook with proper date and the chapter number. Now let's move to page number 42. Here you can see a small flow chart. The heading is rules. Next one, at home. Parents make rules for everyone to follow. Then in school, the teachers make rules that all students must follow. The third one is rules for a country are called laws. So we will discuss these things in detail. Now kids, we might dream of a world where there are no rules, but how practical it would be. For example, chess and football without rule wouldn't be chess or football. It would be entirely formless and meaningless game. Same way, in our daily life, we are not allowed to do everything that we want to do. We must follow certain rules and regulation. We must follow rules at school, at home, in the society, in the country, and so on. Now, let's discuss what are rules. Rules are instructions that tell you what you are allowed to do and what you are not allowed to do. Rules helps us to live a disciplined life. It keeps us safe and also helps us to live peacefully together. So, we'll discuss some rules that we follow at home. Here, parents make rules that you have to follow. They make rules for your safety. So here you can see the kids are playing with the electric wire. You should not touch electric wires and switches with wet hand. Children should not play with sockets. You will get electric shock. You should not play near hot appliances like oven, heater, and so on. You should not play with sharp objects like knife. You can use it when your parents are with you. Children should be kept away from gas stoves. You should not play with fire. You should eat your meal at the table and you should practice table manners. You should not climb on furniture. You may fall and get hurt. And here you can see the things are scattered here and there. You should not do these things. You should keep your room neat and tidy. So these were some of the rules which you have to follow at home. Now here in page number 43, there is an activity. The question is, look at the two pictures carefully and notice in what respect they are different. Can you point out in which picture the rules are not being followed? So here you can see two pictures. One picture you can see the things are scattered here and there, and in another picture you can see the all family members are cleaning the room. So you have to point out in which picture the rules are not being followed, and you have to write the answer in your notebook. Now let's discuss some rules that have to be followed at school. In the classroom, you have to maintain silence so that you can learn better. you should follow the practice of raising your hand when you have to answer, and you should wait for your chance. You should not run in corridors or in steps. You should not play while the teacher is taking the class. You should not fight with your classmates. You should respect and share your things with them. So these are some rules that have to be followed when you are at school. Now, here in page number 44, there is think it over question. You have to create your own rule. Create or change a school rule. Write down 2 reasons why you think your rule is better, and you have to write it in your notebook. Now, as we need rules at home, in school, same way we need rules for our country so that we can live peacefully together. Rules for a country are known as laws, and it must be followed by every citizen of the country to live peacefully. Now, we'll discuss what is constitution. A constitution is a set of rules and principles specifying how a country should be governed. It is a written document and it came into force on 26 January 1950. The difference between the rules and the laws are, rules are applied to a group of people, whereas laws are applied to all the people of a particular state or a country. Now, let's see some rules that has to be followed in a country. For example, it is a law to wear seat belts while driving. The next law is cross the road at the zebra crossing, and you should check whether the signal is red. Next one is you should throw garbage in the dustbin. You should not throw it here and there. So these are few basic laws which all the citizens have to follow. Now let's discuss why laws are necessary. Laws are necessary because it protects us from harm. For example, traffic laws. And it also helps to maintain order and peace in the country. It helps us to become responsible citizens of the country. It helps us to enforce our rights. Rights like right to vote, right to education, freedom of speech, and so on. It also helps us to live freely and safely in the country. It also helps resolving disputes. It stops people taking matters in their own hands. So these were some of the necessities of laws. Now, along with the laws, the citizens have certain rights. So what are rights? Rights are the freedoms and privileges granted by the law to every citizen of a country. For example, right to vote, right to speech, right to education, and so on. Now there are people who does not follow laws and they have to pay fine, and sometimes their rights are also taken away. So when we follow rules, we can live freely and safely in the country, and it also helps in the progress of our country. So I hope you all understood the meaning of rule and the necessity of rules. That's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.